Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Chainlink. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now let's check out the TA chart. So we are on the weekly, and as you can see, we are breaking down from this channel up pattern. As you can see, we just retested this level as resistance. So this was a nice area for you to take some profits potentially and look for another retracement back to the downside, maybe coming back down to this low at $5.52. And this would be a nice 20% retracement. We can try to extend the Fibonacci retracement just this way, just so it's not that confusing, because we have a larger Fibonacci in the background. So as you can see, we bounced off of the 1.272 here on this smaller fib, and we're back above the first fib level, which is the swing low that we printed October 10th. Then we printed the swing high, then we went back down to the 1.272. Now we're back up against the 786, so the 0.786 at $6.91. And from there, as you can see, we're failing to break above that. We have the resistance level there at $7. We have the 786 Fibonacci retracement. We have the resistance of the channel up pattern, right? Because once you lose a level as support, you flip it into resistance immediately. So multiple factors playing into this area here. So I would say this is quite difficult for us to break as of right now. There is not enough bullish incentive. I would also think that it would have been possible for us to retest the 20 EMA on the weekly at least. We've done that multiple times in the past couple of months. We've done that once in August, once in September. We've done that in October. We've done that in November. We've even went above, as you can see. So if we see any sort of relief rallies, I would be looking at the 20 weekly EMA as an exit, right? But still, I would be careful swing trading near these all-time low prices for Chainlink, because we are near the bear market bottom, whether you like it or not. There could be more crashes coming in, but you know, we've seen so much FUD, so much stuff has happened that something really big needs to happen in order for Bitcoin to go back to $10,000. For example, you know, Tether collapsing, that would be a huge issue, because so many crypto exchanges have Tether backing their exchange. For example, KuCoin has 20%, Binance has a bunch, and we all know Binance is heavily connected with Tether. So I would be prepared for both outcomes. Obviously, you always want to have some spare fiat in case we're going to see a capitulation like that, because that would be a tremendous opportunity to stock up some altcoins. But in case we don't do that and we start, moving towards the bull market in 2024 without any further lower lows, you should be ready for that as well with some crypto in your portfolio. So you always want to be exposed to crypto, and you always want to be exposed to fiat, not because fiat is necessarily good, we all know it's crap, but because it provides you the opportunity of buying at cheaper prices whenever there is a dip. Hopefully that makes sense. So based off of this Fibonacci retracement, if we start losing the swing low once again, which is below $6.32, we're going to be taking a look at our 1.618 target at $4.90, which is slightly below our major support zone here at $5.04, because this is the high that we printed all the way back in March of 2020. Right before we had the COVID drop. That's the high that we printed there. And this is the potential support level that we're going to retest here, because as you all know, you break a resistance level, it turns to support. And we haven't retested that support yet, so this could be the moment we do it. And if you want to have buy limit order set up all the way through these areas here, no one's going to stop you. That's going to be very smart on your part. And in fact, we can go all the way down to retest the previous resistance of the channel down pattern that we were here in. As you can see, the blue channel down pattern, we broke above, had a nice retest, but potentially that wasn't enough, and we're going to be looking at another retest here, somewhere, for around $4. That could happen as well, and that would co-align with the second Fibonacci retracement level. at $4.22 on this smaller fib. And obviously, if we start losing the low that we printed in May and in June, we're going to be invalidating the larger Fibonacci retracement that we have as of right now, with our technical target being at $231 in the next bull market. So if we lose the low that we printed in June, this Fibonacci is getting invalidated, and we're going to be looking for our new low, for our new bottom. Once we bottom out, we're going to be able to lay down the fibs and see what's going on here. And very likely is what we're seeing here, 5-wave structure. So this was the high that we printed in May. Since then, you've seen a move to the downside. You had this massive wave 3 to the downside, you have your wave 4, and now you're looking for that wave 5 potentially taking you to the second Fibonacci level here. This is a very, very possible Elliott wave structure that we have here, because wave 3 is pretty large, larger than most waves. We have wave 2 not going above the wave 1 low. We have wave 4 not going above the wave 1 low here, or the wave 1 low here. Yeah, that was the wave 1 high, then the second wave couldn't go over. Right, so if the second wave goes higher than the first one, that invalidates it, right? And if the fourth wave goes higher than the low of the first one, that invalidates it as well. So in these conditions, we still have a valid Elliott wave theory potentially on our hand, and we're looking for that wave 5 bottom, and that's potentially what's happening here. So this last pullback, if we start losing this low, it's very possible that we're going to print that low and start retracing from there to the upside, and hopefully nothing too bearish happens, but let's see what the markets bring us. I want to switch over to the weekly on the Binance. All right, we're on the weekly chart on the Binance website here, and as you can see, we're dipping our toes back into the support block I have for you, anywhere between $6.22.5 to $5.34.5. And as you can see, every time we went back into the zone, we had a move to the upside, whether it was, for example, a 74% move, whether it was a 42% move, whether it was a 69% move, whether it was a 32% move. Every time you came back down into the zone, you had a move to the upside. However, we never really closed a candle in this support block, and that's exactly what we started doing over here. And we opened a candle above it once again, so potentially this could be a very nice move all the way up to the 20 EMA either, or to that resistance that we have above here that we retested in June, in August, and in November. This red trend line, it's better seen on the daily chart actually. So I would say this is a good opportunity. Buying into Chainlink anywhere below $6 is so cheap. It is so cheap. Like, people are going to be crying about the fact that they didn't buy into Chainlink, Polkadot, or Cosmos at these cheap prices. It's the typical stuff. They sell in the bear market, they sell at a loss, and they come back into the markets once Bitcoin is near its all-time high prices. Typical stuff. Now, taking a look at the weekly RSI for Chainlink. So obviously we ran into this resistance level at 43 on the index. I showed you this a couple of weeks ago. I showed you this in the last update as well. And as you can see, we were about to start breaking out. And I told you that I wouldn't really be swing trading this. Now, if we start coming up to this level here at 47.5, that's where you might start getting a bit more overextended, and maybe you can take some profits and be able to swing trade. For swing trading, I would just focus on the 4-hourly and the daily and the 12-hourly charts and those RSIs. So if the RSI gets overextended on any of those time frames, you could sell. Once you get above the index of 70, you could sell and come back into the coin at a 10% profit. Once the coin corrects 10%, just get back into it. That's also a possibility. Now, taking a look at our support level. So you have the green trend line here that we've been holding since August. You had a bounce in August and November. Potentially, we might have one in December or January, right? And you're in this sort of rising triangle here, ascending triangle, and you could see a very, very strong breakout from here. A breakout from here would be very, very strong. We might even come back all the way up to 53 on the index, retesting this high that we printed in January. That also could be possible because this is a bullish pattern that we're creating here with a bit of a fake out move. Obviously, this was a fake out move we had at the end of October. because we're still testing this level as resistance. That's why this is a fake out. Even though this is a resistance level, there was too much volume, too much hype for Chainlink, and then we went back down, retested the green trend line. Now below the green trend line, you have the support at 36.34. Obviously, this is the horizontal support trend line based off of this August low. So what could happen is we could lose the green trend line and come back down here and retest that and continue on from there. So that would be a great area to enter as well. So you never know where the bounce is going to occur. What you need to do is you need to be ready for these bounces in advance. So there's a good chance we might bounce off of the green trend line, your dollar cost average in here, right? You come up, you come down, another bounce, your dollar cost average in there. If it goes lower and it goes all the way down into the oversold, then you don't need to look up my channel and open up my video for me to tell you that that's a good buying opportunity, because every time an asset is all the way down in the oversold, that's a good buying opportunity. You don't need me to tell you that. You need to be mature enough to understand that. And you don't need someone to tell you that the coins are good to buy right now or Bitcoin is cheap enough to buy. You need to be mature enough to analyze those things yourself. And obviously you can't do that without any experience, but I'm just saying that that's what your goal should be, because you don't need to, you don't need to be dependent on others people's opinions. You don't need to be dependent on my opinion, right? I could be wrong in every single one of my videos. Well, most of the time I'm not, but I'm just saying that you have to learn to analyze the charts, the market sentiment, the news all by yourself, because you cannot be dependent on someone, especially some dude talking into a microphone on the internet. So just become independent and have your own ideas, have that thought process. Well, what could happen here? Let me take a look at the news. Let me take a look at the project. What's the team doing here? And you need to understand whether that project is good or bad for you. Because honestly, I don't really watch anyone in terms of crypto. I do watch Chico Crypto. He does really good research analysis. I do watch a couple of Ukrainian dudes. Other than that, I really don't watch anyone in crypto. Coin Bureau obviously is very good as well. But yeah, that's really about it. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join my Patreon. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.